So here's a question, trigonometry, right triangles. This is from the chapter test in chapter 4, workplace 20. And it says this, Chung Ho is standing on the top of a building that is 135 meters tall. The angle of depression to the top of the building next door is 71. So what you want to remember is angle of depression, okay, if we're talking about the horizontal, it's the angle that goes down from the horizontal. So if this guy's standing on a building and there's an angle of depression from the top of the building to the next, that means that if the top of the building has a horizontal that kind of looks like that, then 71 to the top of the next building, or wait, 71 to the top of the next building kind of looks like this. There's the top of the next building. See that? And where does 71 go? 71 goes there. All right. So he's on the taller building, and we'll put 135 over here. So that's the one he's standing on. Okay. So another angle of depression, remember he's still here at the top of the building, another angle of depression to the, now the base, not the top, but the base of the next building is 77. So that is a line from here all the way down to the base of the building. And that one is 77. So that's this angle. So see that? Where we have 71 and then 77. The buildings are 31 meters apart. So now we can fill in this part as well, 31. Now the buildings are, they're going to be built straight up and down, so they're going to assume to be a 90-degree angle with the ground there, okay? So here we have some interesting things happening, don't we? We have 31 here, we have this is 135 over here, and given these angles of depression, so here's the neat thing about that. If this one, let's say, was 71, what's this angle right here? Because we can find that one.
Oh, that would have been 71 minus 77. 77 minus 71.
Well, I'm just thinking of, this is the side of the building. Let's say this is the side of the building here. So if this is horizontal and this is straight up and down, this whole thing is a 90-degree angle. Okay?
Yeah.
And so what I'm saying is that I could find, like, let's say we're starting with 77. Okay? Let's move this over here. So 77, I could actually find this angle if I wanted to. Because this all has to add up to 90 degrees, right? The whole thing. So if this part is 77, what's this part? What's 90 minus 77? It's 13 degrees. Okay, so we have a lot of good things going on here. We've got an angle here, we've got a big angle here, we've got another angle here. What we're trying to do is find out how tall the other building is, so we don't know what this length is. See that? That's what we're trying to find. Oh boy, okay, well, how can we figure that out? Well, because the buildings are straight up and down, look at this. I do have, this is also 31. That's interesting, okay. Does that help me at all?
Well, no. Well, it makes a cube square.
This is another right triangle in there. Okay. We could probably figure out this angle and this angle, right? Does that help us though? Because I don't have this length right here. I don't have, and this is the one I'm trying to find. So finding an angle is not going to help us out. We're going to have to probably do, two different angles here. Okay? So this one's a bit of a challenging one. This might not help us there, what we just wrote down there. So let's think of it a different way. Oh, here's another right triangle with the horizontal. You see that? That's interesting. So this diagram's getting a bit messy here. But, so we have this triangle that I just drew. This would be, the 71 would be here. This would be 90. And you know what? This 31 between buildings would be the same as this top part. So I could actually, right here, I could find out what this side was. And that's going to be this part above, that's this one right here, this part above the building. Do you think we could use something like that?
Yeah, because then we can do the 135 subtract both. And
Yeah, because then we could do, because we know that this is 135. So if I figured out this, I could subtract the two and get to this one.
Is that X or is that 35
That's 135.
off the angle?
71.
That's 71.
71 degrees. Okay, so let's try it. Let's see. So what trig ratio am I going to use for this one? We've got an opposite involved, and we've got, what side is this?
Adjacent.
Adjacent. Very good. This is opposite. This is adjacent. Good job. So which trig function involves opposite and adjacent?
Tangent.
TOA, right. So that means tan of 71 degrees equals the opposite, which I don't really know. Let's put it OPP, divided by 31, adjacent. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 31. And this is a step that many of you are leaving out, and you're actually, some of you are dividing when you should be multiplying and multiplying when you should be dividing. So I would encourage you to include this step.
Quick checkup.
Yep.
If the number's on top, we don't.
So if you write this step out, you'll see this is, hey, multiplication. Okay? All right, so what's 31 times tan of 71? 31, oops, I don't want that screen. 31 times tan 71, 90? Whoa, 90. So the opposite side is 90 meters. Okay, so if that's the case, I think that we should be able to go 135 minus 90 equals 45 meters.
45.
Okay, and that should be the height of your building. So let me just check that out here. Number 5. Yes, indeed, 45. Okay, so you don't really have to use the 77. They gave you that, just a little bit of extra information. You don't really have to use that one. Now, what you could have done though, and I don't want to confuse anyone, but what you could have done is you could have used this larger triangle, right? And then this angle is 77. And this side, let's see. No, that's not going to help us. Because this side is 135, and you know this is 31, so there's nothing left to solve. You don't care about this side. That doesn't matter. Right? So yeah, I would just say this is the only really option that you have, is to do it this way. Okay? Questions?